Welcome to Rock DIY, or Do It You. If you do it, then it's all you. So I now have somewhat everything separated. What's remaining on the ground are the smaller branches, twigs, and just throw them right on the ground because walking around breaks them up even more. And then I've got a big pile of branches on this side and another big pile over here. Not all of these will be able to go through the chipper shredder. The ones that can't will be cut in 18 to 24 inch lengths and stacked. The ones that can go in the chipper shredder will be cut down, or notches will be taken out so that they can go through the chipper shredder. Over here are all the branches that are ready to go through the chipper shredder. Just for reference, this is the chute for the chipper shredder. It says it can handle up to 3-inch diameter, but if you notice, the top portion of it is fluted and then it becomes completely circular at the bottom, so you can be fooled by what you can put in it because of how big the chute is at the top. When dropping small branches, twigs into the top feeder or hopper, it's best not to just drop it straight in, because if you have a bunch and you drop it in there, more than likely it's not going to go through. Actually, the best thing to do is, since the top is offset from where it actually goes in, and this side over here has got a long chute, if you drop it over here and drop it slowly, everything will go right down and into the blades, and it's much more efficient, and you have less stoppage or buildup that you can't get to go through that sits right in there. It's just a matter of getting to know what your chipper shredder capabilities are. Yeah, you can read the instruction manual and it'll tell you certain things, but sometimes it's just a matter of using it and getting to know what it can specifically handle. So just to show, these branches right here, these are branches that I would typically not put through the chipper shredder unless I cut them off or break them, because these right here will typically cause the chipper shredder to basically stop, or it'll get jammed inside the chute and you will not be able to put anything else in it. So you have to shut it down, remove the jam, and then continue. So if you want to be efficient, you typically got to keep branches that look like this out of the chute. So this specific one right here, just because it's got such a long bow in it, that would typically get caught up in the chute. If it's a long bow like this one, it'll typically go through because the bow in it is longer than the actual chute, so it will continue to work through. But if it's a short bow, it won't go through. And then here's just some more, mostly these forked ones you got to be really careful with. And then this one right here has a pretty short bow in it, so I wouldn't even attempt to put it in the chipper shredder. I've got the Predator chipper shredder set up, ready to go, so I can start shredding all these branches here. Before I started, I did check the air filter, made sure I had plenty of fuel, checked to make sure I didn't have anything inside the chipper shredder that would prevent it from running. And then also put the bag on. Whenever you put the bag on, you always got to make sure that it's nice and laid out so that you get maximum fill. If it gets bunched up, then you'll start having issues. When the bag gets full, you'll start getting chips coming back out the chute, and then they'll also come out underneath the bag right here. So that's pretty much when you know the bag is completely full. This is what it looks like behind the clean out plate. And you can see here is the blade for the top feeder or hopper. The sharp edge is on this side of the swinging blade. Besides these two swinging blades, you have a stationary blade, well, stationary to the rotation of the wheel, but then you also have another blade back here, a straight blade. If you need to remove anything on the chipper shredder, make sure when you put it back together that if it has nylon nuts or lock washers, that you put those back on, because the chipper shredder vibrates quite a bit, and if you don't put the lock washers or the nylon nuts back on, they're going to come off. So be sure to put them back on. Before you get ready to run the chipper shredder, you make sure the switch is in the on position. The throttle is all the way up, and then you want to turn the choke on, and then make sure your gas is all the way to the right. Once you pull the cord to run it, once it starts to start up, then release the choke and it'll operate at full speed. The chipper shredder vibrates enough on its own when it's running, but when you start putting branches into the chute, the blades hitting the branches causes it to vibrate even more, and then you end up with all these pieces that break off from the vibration. I'm going to empty the bag, and then before I start my next iteration, I'm going to make sure all these pieces that kicked out of the chipper get picked up, because definitely don't want to trip and fall into or on the chipper shredder while it's running. Cleaned up all this area in front of the chipper shredder, and then this is the pile of kickouts. I'll put these through the chipper shredder first before I start working on the rest of the branches. I did mention where you fill the oil, but what I didn't mention is that if you attempt to start this and the oil is low, besides it might being low on fuel, it could be that there is a sensor that tells the chipper shredder that there's no oil, so it will not start. So if you do have issues starting it, besides fuel, check your oil to make sure that you have oil in it. Thanks for watching the video. I truly appreciate it. I hope this product review assists you in deciding if the product meets your needs and whether you want to purchase it. Please like, comment, or subscribe. Thanks again.